What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Two Car Garage. I am so excited for this week's episode because if all goes according to plan, by the end of it, we should see our bike complete, front to back. So our 1965 Honda Dream is coming together really well. Last week, we attached our fuel petcock. Now we just have to finish up the rest of the fuel tank. So attaching the chrome side panels, the rubber knee pads, a couple other little things. With it on the bike, we'll have to plumb it in. So fuel lines and inline fuel filter. Once the tank is on, then it's back to the seat. The seat, huge item, kind of putting it off until last because we're going to have to recover it. The leather that's on the seat isn't too bad, right? I'll show you guys some before and after pictures, but it's not perfect like the rest of the bike. Covering a seat can go really easy, or it can be an absolute nightmare. So hopefully this one goes pretty well. Probably gonna have to replace some of the foam underneath, right? But we'll see how it goes. Once the gas tank and the seat are on, I mean, that's pretty much it, right? We have a few other small pieces, but we might be able to see the bike complete, and that'll make for some pretty awesome before and after pictures. So as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure you hit that like button down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get started. We have our tank, so we have to put the side covers on, emblems, and the black rubbers, and the fuel cap. Remember in the last episode, if you didn't watch it, go back and watch it now. We attached the fuel petcock, and this is a new style fuel petcock instead of the old one. So we had to use some gasket maker on it and let it dry. That's why we couldn't do it last time. How about this tank, huh? It turned out really good. The chrome side covers here are originals. You can't really buy new ones, and to get them re-chromed would probably be 150 bucks each. So up close, you can see lots of little micro scratches and stuff, but from a few steps back, and especially from 15 feet back, they're in really good shape considering the age. These knee pads are original as well. They cleaned up really good. I just scrubbed them with a nylon brush. These logos probably aren't original because they're in really good shape, a little bit too good shape, but either way they look nice. Now some of you guys in the comments section have been asking to see more before and after pictures, so let's check out how this tank looked before. You can see the grimy 20-year-old yellow paint job that was probably spray bombed on. It's all worn and faded and everything's just sort of grimy and dirty. And let's compare that to how it looks now. Yeah, so pretty big difference, you know. Let's not lose sight of how far this thing is coming. Now that the tank is wrapped up, it's time to move on to the next item on the list. Let's turn our attention to the seat now. Here's the original seat. It's actually not in like super bad condition. Top isn't cracked, and it doesn't look super dry or anything. The strap is in decent shape, but when you really look at it, then you can see little tears, like right there. You can see that the strap is pretty loose, and the logo on the back is completely faded. That should be a white Honda there. So it's definitely worth replacing, especially because the rest of the bike will be in such mint condition. So we've got a couple things to tackle here for the seat. First is taking the strap off, and that's just a couple little rusty bolts down there, or nuts. And then we have this chrome trim that we need to save to reuse. And then on the underneath, every seat is different. This one has little metal hooks that the vinyl sort of hooks to. And then there's also little studs with nuts on them that is probably for the chrome trim, so that also protrudes through the vinyl as well. So a little bit of work to do to remove the old seat, before we can put the new cover on. So let's remove the old vinyl, chrome trim, and strap now. That's nasty. So here's the plan of how we're going to cover this thing. We're going to spray some spray adhesive down on this clean base, put some high density foam down. Once that's stuck, cut it all out. Maybe we'll cut it out beforehand, I'm not really sure. Over top of that, put some thin quilt batting down just to smooth everything out, and then some saran wrap and the vinyl cover. On the bottom of the seat here, you can see how the vinyl cover is going to attach. All along are these metal spikes that the vinyl has to punch over, and then you just fold the spikes down, so that holds it in place. And then that chrome trim ring uses screws with all of these little holes here along it. So I have some new screws, and we'll put that metal trim ring back too. So let's get started. So right now I have a bicycle tube that I cut in half down the center, and now I'm running this along these metal rails here to act as a new sort of protective rubber strip. There was like a vinyl or heavy rubber strip covering this because the new vinyl seat will have to fold over this metal ridge here, so you don't want it to rub through over time, so this this rubber just protects it. So I'm taking this bicycle tube that I cut and attaching it now over all the little tangs, and then I'll adhesive it onto the metal. The only thing left to do is now put the vinyl on. I've had it baking out in the sun for about 20-30 minutes. That softens it up, allows you to stretch it a little bit better. So we just stretch it on over the plastic, hook it on the bottom, bang down those tabs. We're done. Lined up, it's in the right position. Now we start at the front and pull and hook on those tabs on the bottom, starting from the front. Okay, the seat is totally on and attached under these tangs. After we're all done, I'll glue this excess down a little bit, but for now it's no big deal. Now we have the chrome trim that we were punching those holes for. So I went around on the vinyl and punched out all the remaining holes to just make it an opening. There's 4 on each side, so we'll be good to go then. So we take this chrome trim, we slide the heads inside that rail, and then it just sort of pushes in, and we have little nuts that will go on the inside. So let's do that now. The seat turned out amazing. Let's see it and check it out before we put on the bike. I'll also, I know you guys have been asking for it in the comments, put in another before and after as well. Let's check it out. The seat turned out so good. I actually can't believe how good it turned out. What I actually can't believe is that I didn't screw something up. But I didn't imagine that. First time working on the whole bike that something didn't go really wrong. So pretty awesome. What you didn't see was just attaching the strap, but that was easy, just sort of trimming to fit and putting a hole in it. So this is all ready to go on the bike now, and so is the gas tank. What we're about to see for the first time is the complete bike with most parts attached. Let's check it out. And there it is. The tank and the seat are on. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am to hit this milestone. The tank is all hooked up. There's fuel lines. I installed an inline fuel filter like I do on all of my old motorcycles. The next step is to gas it up and take it for its first ride. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another big episode of Two Car Garage. I cannot wait to see you next Sunday when the video drops, so that hopefully we can get this thing on the road and see it driving for the first time in decades. Be sure you like, comment, and subscribe below. Hit that bell so you're notified when the next video hits. Thank you guys.